Hello again, we're back down at a local to me venue, Hollybush Lane Lakes in Farnborough, to run you through a little rig I've been playing about with for the last couple of years. I've named it, or I call it the NS rig, not because that's my initials, it's because it stands for nice and simple really. The rig is basically very nice and simple. It's constructed from just a hook and the hook link material, stiff ultra skin. It basically has all the mechanics in it, like a sliding D-rig type anti-ejection thing. It's got a little bit of the coating to offer the kick-over setup, you know, as a fish tightens a hook link. The only other thing that's included is a couple of shot to help it turn as the hook links tighten as the fish lifts the bait, you know, once the bait's in the fish's mouth. It's not really, because I pretty much stripped the whole hook link of its skin, it's not really the sort of rig you'd cast out in a lake. I tend to favour it for lowering rigs in the edge in a stalking situation, setting a trap. It's also a very good rig for using with solid PVA bags, and if you use them you could drop it out of a bait boat out in open water, but I tend to use other rigs myself for open water fishing, so I tend to do a lot more casting, but that's a different story. Well really, because it's so simple, I might as well just quickly run you through how I tie it up. Right, to start with, I get my stiff ultra skin and I offer it up against the back of, say, a size 6 incisor, my favourite hook for fishing with it in the edge. From roughly the eye of the hook to the bottom of a boilie, say a 15mm boilie or a decent sized tiger nut, and with a 5mm gap between to allow for movement, I'll work out that I want to strip about that much. Well, I need that much length of, you know, with the coating off of it, so I'll take that much off plus a little bit more so I can form a loop. So I've set my distance. Once I've tied the loop, I'll thread a bait on like you normally would if you was tying a no-knot rig, and then the little trick part of it is to about 5mm from the top of the boilie to where you want your effective, where you'd have a sliding ring. I'll prick the hook through that part of the braid, and that sets the distance between the hook bait and the hook. Then, differently to your normal no-knot rig, where you go through the back of the eye and then you wrap round the shank and then thread it back through the back of the eye, I actually go through the front of the eye, and there's a reason for this. It's so the bait hangs in line and straight, so the hair's not forcing the hook to lay flat. So once I've done that, I've gone through the front of the eye, I wrap round 6-7 times, we all have our favourite amount of times, and then I go back through the eye from the back to the front as you normally would with a no-knot. Once I've done that, I'll work out about a 45-degree angle, which is the sort of rule of thumb for a kicker, liner, what people tend to use, and then I'll strip the braid from there. Right, so once you get a 45-degree angle that lines up with the point of the hook, I'll strip the remainder of the coating off the braid. I'll take all of it off and have a fully braided hook link, because that's how I favour using it. Once I've stripped all that off, I'll tie it to a flexi ring swivel. It's roughly about 6 inches long. That's my favourite sort of distance for a marginal sort of hook link. Maybe a bit shorter if I was using a solid PVA bag. And then the only thing I really include to that's a couple of shots to help with the mechanics of the rig as the hook link's tightened and the fish starts to pull away with it in its mouth. Helps, you know, with the kicker that's formed from the coating still on the braid. It just helps, you know, kick it round and hook the fish in the bottom lip or in the sides of the mouth. So basically that is as simple as what it is, nice and simple, NS rig.